Hey everyone! In this quick video, you'll learn how to publish your Godot project to GitHub using GitHub Desktop. Using version control is an important part of the game development process, and using GitHub is one of the easiest ways to ensure you can track changes to your code. It even allows you to collaborate with others on your projects in a more shared and controlled environment. First, I won't be going over Git itself. It's a wide subject with a lot of moving pieces. If you're interested in the inner workings of Git, there are some great videos on YouTube. Instead, I'll be showing how to easily host your first Git repository on GitHub to hold your Godot game, and we'll use a program called GitHub Desktop to manage the connection. If that's what you're looking for, then you're in the right place. Let's get started. 1. Create a GitHub account and set up GitHub Desktop. So the first thing you'll need is a GitHub account. Hopefully you have one already. If not, you can easily sign up for the free personal account, and it'll work just fine for this tutorial. When you're creating a new account, you won't have any code repositories yet. We'll add one soon to hold our Godot game. After your GitHub account is fully confirmed, you'll need to download and install GitHub Desktop. Choose whichever OS you need. We chose Windows 64-bit. After GitHub Desktop is installed, sign into it with your GitHub account. From the File menu, select Options, then in the Accounts pane click Sign In next to github.com. Click Continue with Browser to log in using your browser and your GitHub credentials. If you're already signed in like I was, just follow the prompts back to GitHub Desktop. Remember, GitHub requires two-factor authentication, so enter and verify using your two-factor code when requested. Once authenticated, follow the prompts back to GitHub Desktop to complete the setup. Now your local machine can interact with your GitHub account. 2. Create a local repository. Now we'll create our Git repository to hold our Godot project. In GitHub Desktop, open the File menu and choose Add Local Repository. Set the local path to your Godot project directory. Click the Create Repository link. The local path will already be set to your project folder. Choose the Git Ignore option for Godot if you want. You can also set the optional license, description, and organization. Finish creating the local repository by clicking Create Repository. It may take a few moments to finish. 3. Publish the repository. Now that we have a local repository, we need to push the code and assets to GitHub. Click Publish Repository in GitHub Desktop. Decide if the repository should be private or public. You can change this later, so we'll make it private for now. Click Publish Repository again to start the push process. When the push is complete, you can go back to your GitHub account and you'll see the new repository, and it'll contain the contents of your project folder. You'll be able to view the game files, and the system will now track changes to those files every time you push new commits. 4. Pushing a new commit. Here's a simple example. I'm only updating a comment in a single file. GitHub Desktop noticed some other files were changed, but I don't want those, so I'll discard them. Here's the actual change I made. I want to push this to GitHub. We'll do this by making a commit. We can give the commit a title and description. We'll click Commit to Main. Now the file has been saved locally in the main branch. Let's push it to GitHub. When the push is complete, we can check GitHub again. We can review the commits that have been pushed. And here's the commit we just pushed. So that's the basics. It should be sufficient for a solo dev. When working with code and project collaborators, you'll want to use Git branches and be familiar with how pull requests and merges are used in Git. Now that you've seen how simple it is to integrate your Godot project with GitHub, you'll be able to manage your game code and development flows more effectively. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe for more tips, and drop any questions or suggestions in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and happy coding!